This isn't just another drug story. It isn't a trip report. It isn't a dare. This is a descent. Inside this bottle is something you've seen 100 times. Maybe you've taken it for sleep, for allergies, for a cold. But if you take too much, you'll lose everything that ties you to the real world. The drug is diphenhydramine. You know it as Benadryl. It's legal, it's cheap, but it's also one of the most psychologically disturbing substances a human being can consume. Benadryl doesn't make you euphoric. It doesn't make you laugh. It doesn't expand your mind. It shuts it down. It turns off your logic, your memory, your ability to know what's real. And once that's gone, anything can happen. You'll start to feel tired. Your mouth will go dry. Your heart beats a little faster than it should. You blink, the room swims, and then you hear something, whispers in the hallway, someone calling your name. You turn to look. There's a man standing in the doorway. He's tall, wearing a hat, but you're alone, and the door was locked. Welcome to the world of delirium. The Hat Man is just the beginning. What is this drug? Benadryl was never meant to be fun. Its active ingredient, diphenhydramine, was approved by the FDA in 1946. It's an antihistamine, a sleep aid. But taken in large doses, it becomes something far more sinister. It blocks a vital neurotransmitter responsible for memory, attention, and reality checking. Without it, the brain begins to glitch. Thoughts loop, and logic fails. Reality just becomes a suggestion. You don't see hallucinations like you do with LSD or psilocybin. You live inside them. You think they're real. You'll try to interact with them, and you'll forget they were ever there. Some users describe the first moments as confusing, but almost normal. I took 600 milligrams and just felt heavy. My legs stopped responding the way they should. Everything felt off. I forgot what I was doing halfway through my sentence. Then come the visuals. The walls start breathing. You'll see bugs on your arms. You'll hear someone call your name from behind you. But when you turn around, no one's there. And now the room feels colder. As the dose rises, reality peels away. I sat and talked with my cousin for almost 30 minutes before realizing I was completely alone. I remember the conversation, what she wore, her voice. She wasn't even in the state at the time. This is the terror of diphenhydramine. You trust everything you see, and it's all a lie. You might try to answer an invisible phone. You might pick up spiders from your bed. You might talk to a dead loved one. You might scream at a wall thinking it's someone attacking you. This is one of the most common hallucinations on Benadryl. Thousands of users describe him. The same man, the same shape, the same chilling presence. Tall, slender, dressed in black, and a wide-brimmed hat. He doesn't speak. He doesn't blink. All he does is watch. I saw him near my closet. I turned away, but when I looked back, he was closer. I screamed. My mom said I was screaming in my sleep. I don't remember going to bed. Some say he follows them after the trip ends, in dreams, in corners, in the silence. What's in the pill? Diphenhydramine chloride. The name doesn't sound threatening. It sounds clinical. Like something your grandma takes before bed. But inside that name hides something twisted, something your brain was never designed to process. It's a drug that blocks the chemical your brain uses for nearly everything that makes you. Memory, logic, language, pattern recognition, muscle control, and attention. It's all tied to this one molecule. Right now, as you listen, this chemical is lighting up parts of your brain. It's what lets you read faces, think thoughts, and remember words. Now imagine someone's turning off that signal, not slowing it, turning it off. That's what Benadryl does in high doses. It doesn't sedate you like a sleeping pill. It disconnects you from your own perception of reality. 100 to 300 milligrams. This is the zone where people think they're still in control. 100 to 300 milligrams sounds like nothing, just 6 to 12 pills. But even here we start seeing memory loss, slurred speech, heavy limbs, difficulty focusing, sudden waves of fear or paranoia. One user said, "I was watching a movie halfway through. I realized I couldn't remember what movie it was or the day it was. I just stared." 400 to 700 milligrams. At this stage, the brain no longer functions normally. Your central nervous system begins to misfire. Visual and auditory hallucinations become common. But here's the difference. They're not flashy, they're not mundane. So normal that your brain accepts them without question. People talk to friends who aren't there, light imaginary cigarettes, argue with a shadow in the corner, and they don't even realize something's wrong. I walked around my house with a lighter, trying to smoke something that didn't exist. I even felt the heat. I thought my sister was with me. I live alone. 800 milligrams is full delirium. At this dose, reality collapses. You may no longer remember your own name. You might think you're somewhere else entirely. Some forgot they even took a drug. They're trapped, wondering, confused. And that's where the horror starts to mutate. I saw a kid crouched in my closet smiling. He said nothing, just stared. I blacked out, woke up under my desk the next day, drenched in sweat. There are reports of people jumping from windows, running into traffic, hurting themselves while trying to fight hallucinations. The body fights back. Physically, this dose level also triggers heart racing over 130 BPM, severe dehydration, blurry vision, overheating, urinary retention, seizures, coma, and death. You might be trapped inside a nightmare while your body shuts down. I was so hot I stripped naked and got in the shower. The water wasn't running. I stood there for hours. What makes it so dangerous? Most drugs you feel like something. Weed makes you mellow, alcohol makes you numb, LSD makes things beautiful. Benadryl makes you feel nothing, confused, lost, and forgotten. But the world around you, it's alive, and it's lying to you. The danger isn't just physical, it's heavily mental. This isn't a bad trip, it's forced psychosis. A waking coma filled with strangers, whispers, and watchers. You begin to see things. At first, it's subtle. You catch something moving out of the corner of your eye, a shadow across the hallway, a voice, faint and familiar just beyond the door. You blink, nothing's there. You blink again, and now it is. You're not high, you're not dreaming, you're awake, and you're surrounded by things that aren't. The spiders always come first. Nearly every Benadryl trip eventually leads to bugs. They crawl out from beneath your skin, drip down your arms, and scurry across your walls. I saw a line of ants coming from my window. Hundreds of them. I tried to trap them in a cup, but they kept crawling through my hand. One user clawed at their arms until they bled. Another tried to vacuum invisible roaches for over an hour. One man set his mattress on fire. But the bugs weren't real. The scars were. The loop. Time begins to melt. You forget where you are. You stand up, sit down, and stand up again. 10 minutes pass, or 2 hours, or none at all. Some users report performing the same tasks hundreds of times. I sat on the floor trying to light a cigarette for what felt like 30 minutes. The lighter was upside down. The cigarette was fake. My fingers were burned. I kept calling my mom, but the phone wasn't in my hand. I just kept staring at the blank wall, repeating her name. Benadryl doesn't just scramble your senses, it loops your mind in broken cycles. You might try to pee in the closet. You might hold a conversation with no one. You might repeat the same sentence for 20 minutes and thinking you're making sense. The Hat Man. They all describe him. A man. Tall, thin, dressed in black, and wearing a wide-brimmed hat. He doesn't move and he doesn't speak. He just watches. He was standing in the bathroom doorway. I couldn't see his face, just the outline. When I turned away, he was closer. He is not a creature, not a demon. He is a presence. And the most disturbing thing, even sober users see him later, in dreams, in sleep paralysis, and even in dark rooms when they're alone. I haven't done Benadryl in years. I still see him sometimes. Not directly, I just know he's there. Some believe he's a figment, others think he's more spiritual parasite, an archetype of dread, a guardian of delirium. Phantom people are almost always guaranteed. Someone knocks on your door, you answer, you speak, you remember their voice, their clothes, but they never came in. I saw my sister in my kitchen. We had a full conversation. She was at school 4 states away. I was screaming at my roommate to get out of my room. I live alone. They may laugh, cry, help you, or hurt you. And when they disappear, it's not like waking up. It's like they were ripped away, and now something's missing. When it doesn't stop, even after the trip ends, the feeling doesn't always fade. Some users describe weeks or months of lingering effects. Paranoia, shadow people, difficulty telling real from fake. Dreams that feel too real. Some stop dreaming altogether. Others wake up crying or screaming. Not because they saw anything, but because they saw him again. The Hat Man was in my closet again last night. I haven't used Benadryl in over a year. Let's be clear, this drug can kill you. Benadryl is not harmless. It's not just an allergy pill. When it's abused, it becomes lethal. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. We've talked about hallucinations, the spiders, the Hat Man, the loops, but now we have to talk about what it does to your body, your brain, your heart, and your life. 25 to 50 milligrams mild sedation and dry mouth. 100 to 300 milligrams confusion, dizziness, and tremors. 400 to 600 milligrams delirium, hallucinations and looping thoughts. 700 to 1,000 milligrams blackouts, memory loss, seizures. 1,000 milligrams plus risk of coma, cardiac arrest, and death. Most bottles come with 25 milligrams per pill. That means 16 pills equal heavy hallucinations. 32 pills equals possible death. I took 30 pills. My heart wouldn't slow down. I had to crawl to the bathroom. I thought I was dying, and I was. How it destroys your brain. Like I said, diphenhydramine blocks a chemical to your brain, and without it, your brain begins to die. Not metaphorically. Neurons actually start breaking down. Symptoms of chronic abuse include permanent memory loss, speech problems, inability to form new memories, confusion during sober states, early onset dementia. My mind feels hollow now, like something isn't important or isn't there anymore. I haven't been the same since that night. I used to write poetry. I can't even finish a paragraph now.
I'm in love with Summer.
Real fatalities,
I'm gonna
teens
explain
on
what a
TikTok in comas. The Benadryl challenge has claimed real lives. Case 1, Oklahoma 2020, where I live. A 15-year-old girl took 14 pills to hallucinate, trying to impress friends. Her heart went into arrhythmia. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. Case 2, Michigan 2022. An 18-year-old boy overdosed on 30 pills. He was found unconscious and died 3 days later from complications relating to overheating and organ failure. These are not rare cases. Every year, poison control centers receive thousands of reports about diphenhydramine overdoses. The youngest confirmed fatality, 12 years old. What does the body go through? During overdose, this is what your body experiences. Blurred vision, inability to urinate, profuse sweating, high fever, heart racing past 140 BPM, seizures, psychosis, and coma. I had to be restrained. I was trying to rip wires out of my chest. I thought I was in a game show. I don't remember any of it. Deliriants don't wear off cleanly. They leave a scar both mentally and physically. When it doesn't end, the aftermath. Some users never fully return. They stay half disassociated, half delirious, with nightmares that don't feel like dreams. I see bugs that aren't there now. I'm sober. They're just part of my life now. I keep hearing my name every night, like someone's calling me from down the hall. This is called post-delirium syndrome, a long-lasting condition where the users suffer lingering confusion, paranoia, and hallucinations even while sober. Why you might never come back. The danger of Benadryl is simple. It doesn't warn you. You don't feel like you're dying. You don't feel like you're overdosing. You just slip away into a loop, a hallucination, a silence so loud you forget who you were. And if you're lucky, you wake up. But some don't. And some that do are never the same. It always starts this way, doesn't it? A joke, a trend, a pink pill, then another, then someone dies. The Benadryl challenge first appeared quietly on TikTok sometime in early 2020. Clips of users showing off the trip they got from taking 12, 15, and sometimes even 20 pills. They laughed, they filmed their eyes twitching, claimed to see shadows, then the ones who didn't wake up. The viral spiral. TikTok's algorithm is built for visibility. If something weird happens on screen, it gets pushed. A girl saying she sees the Hat Man, that's 1 million views. A boy falling over mid-sentence, yeah, that's going viral. The Benadryl challenge rewarded suffering. It turned hallucinations into entertainment. Users began egging each other on. Go higher, take more, do 24. Someone posts updates. Still alive, heart feels weird, lol. This is crazy. The deaths no one talks about. One of the first confirmed deaths, Chloe Phillips, 15 years old, in Oklahoma. She took several pills while filming a challenge. Collapsed, seized, never woke up. The hospital said she had a massive heart problem. Her family said she thought it would be funny. There were others, an 18-year-old boy in Texas, a 13-year-old girl in California, but they didn't post final videos. But their parents found empty bottles, TikTok drafts, and a browser tabs full of Benadryl. Warnings that came too late. The FDA issued a warning in 2020, but TikTok didn't remove videos until months later after deaths. Even then, users could still find tutorials, reposts, and secret hashtags. Hashtag Benadryl trip. Hashtag pink pills. Hashtag shadow man. Hashtag hallucination game. Quote from user, age 16. I didn't know it could kill you. I just thought you saw cool stuff. I was trying to see the Hat Man. The Hat Man became part of the challenge. Teenagers were actively trying to summon the most terrifying hallucination the drug could offer, and they were dying doing it. Why teen brains are most vulnerable. The adolescent brain is not built to handle full-blown psychosis. Benadryl floods it, scrambles it, damages it, and the developing brain has almost no defense. At 12, 13, 15 years old, kids are more likely to forget they took a drug, redose, wander outside, hurt themselves in confusion. They don't hallucinate for fun, they panic. And panic on Benadryl leads to injury, hospitalization, and death. The silence that followed. As the bodies started piling up, the videos vanished. TikTok swept them away. Parents were left grieving. Users were left scared. But the challenge never really died. It just went deeper, onto Reddit, Discord, onto the dark corners of YouTube. And the Hat Man still waits. If you search the right words today, you'll still find it. Videos of shaking hands, screen flickering, boys whispering to someone off camera, someone who isn't there. But if you're not the most faint of heart, I wouldn't recommend searching these. And I also wouldn't recommend searching these because this is messed up and it's not something anybody should have taken their lives on. Coming back isn't easy. Most drug trips end. You sober up, you laugh, you move on. Not Benadryl. Benadryl doesn't let you go. Some people never truly come back. Others return but changed. It's been 8 months, I still feel like I'm not real. I used to be able to talk to people. Now I just stare. I forget words in the middle of sentences. What is depersonalization? Depersonalization is feeling detached from yourself, like you're watching your life happen from behind glass. Many Benadryl survivors report feeling like a ghost, not recognizing themselves in mirrors, hearing voices while sober, and emotional numbness. I've been sober for a year, but sometimes I look at my hands and don't believe they're mine. The trauma off the trip. Psychologically, a Benadryl overdose is a trauma. Your brain believes it has lived through terror, shadow people, paranoia, phantom voices, the Hat Man. It's not just scary, it's encoded as a real memory. Many users develop insomnia, PTSD symptoms, and heavy flashbacks. Case study Zach, a 19-year-old boy, took 28 pills on a dare, saw a girl with black eyes at the foot of his bed. He still dreams about her, wakes up screaming, and he can't sleep in darkness anymore. Dreams that don't feel like dreams. Some survivors say their dreams changed forever. They don't just dream, they relive. I keep waking up in the loop. The room resets, my mom calls my name, then everything goes silent. Then it starts again. Some users report hallucinations while awake for months. They hear whispering, they see spiders, they catch glimpses of the Hat Man. In extreme cases, users report actual loss of intelligence, forgetting basic math, trouble writing, losing entire years of memory. This is due to a neurotoxicity, long-term damage caused by blocking that chemical to your brain too aggressively. I used to read books, now I get headaches trying to focus. My thoughts are broken. You may never be the same. You can survive a Benadryl overdose, you can come back, but some part of you might not. Your thoughts might never feel clean again. The Hat Man might never leave your dreams. And one day when you look in the mirror, you may not recognize the person looking back.